Then over back to the shop to get data for my phone again, once again. And you know the usuals. They're here with their vehicle. There, see, they're there. They enter the building. They project their chemicals. And then when they're finished, thank you. When they're finished, another set will take over. This is one of the worst experiences for targeting individual. Someone that's been targeted is to be living in these apartment buildings. There. Uh, okay? It's one of the worst experiences. I'm in this red car. Always the same ones. Every time. You know, in less than a minute, or let's say a minute, I exited the flat. Boom. They appears out of nowhere. Huh? I don't know where this be stalked up watching me. I don't know. I have no idea how they would know when I'm exiting the flat. No idea. And it's not a coincidence because it's every time that happens. Okay? So it's not a coincidence. Let me just put on this mask because here it's somewhat forbidden. I don't like wearing any face mask. I hate wearing this thing on my face. Blocks the oxygen and it's not really protecting anyone from anything. Because most of what we're experiencing is the stuff that they be projecting. And these frequencies they be hitting us with to get us sick. Alright? So this is not about wearing a face mask, okay? It's not about wearing a face mask. Kind of minimizes it a bit, yeah, but it's not overall protecting us from any bacteria, knowing that our situation, me and my family's circumstances here are different, right? There's nothing about protecting us from COVID-19. Our situation is that we're being directly affected from what they're projecting towards our flat. And over time it will have an effect, yeah. So it's one of the reasons as to why I would don't be wearing these face masks. I will only try to comply with the rules and regulations when I'm entering these stores. But aside from that, I'd be walking everywhere without wearing a face mask, and that's not what is gonna harm me. The best thing to be is out in the sun. Go for like a little 30 or 40 minutes walk in the sun. Drink a lot of orange juice, build up your immune system with vitamin C, and eat a lot of veggies. So that's what we do. Sometimes I go for long walks. Sometimes I'm going for long walks, and I feel better. Because with the stuff that they be projecting, it's better to be out than in. Someone said I shouldn't be speaking out about what they're doing because it helps them to feel good about themselves. It makes them, get some kind of satisfaction. But I don't care. I'm putting it out there because I know the individuals that are involved will have to face the repercussions should anything happen to me or my family. So I'm still putting it out there. They have their connections with these higher ups within law enforcement and, these different persons that are backing them. But I know I'm still putting it out there because I know the authors of these type of destruction and the ones that are causing us harm, trying to cause us harm, whether it be physically, financially, you know, blocking us from having or interacting, having a normal social life. I know the ones that are involved, and they're not far from being caught. You know, they're not difficult to be caught. They're not difficult to catch because they're out there and they're letting us know that, well, okay, they're out there and they're behind what's happening. Because for them, their sick, twisted mentality and the mind games that they play, for them, the more the victims know what's happening, the more the victims are aware of what's happening to them, it's the better they would succeed at having this victim or their victims killed, because they will try to say, okay, well, you know, and you didn't do anything about it. That's their excuse, right? So this is what it is. Hi, how long you guys the data that I be purchasing here? You going now? You going somewhere?
No, here.
Okay. You know, this is the second time I purchased. It's not the second time, but it's almost the the third time for this week. I purchased the mobile data.
Mobile data.
Yeah, the mobile data I purchased, and you know what happened? It seems to be running out before the time, because the due date was until the 27th. Today we're the 25th. So you normally have like 2 more days, right? I have 2 more days normally.
Yeah.
Well, they tell me, okay, well, I don't have any data. Okay, and aside from that, I've recharged it twice, 5 BD each, and they're still telling me, well, I don't have data. So how is it working? How does that work here? What is it really that I'm being? What's really happening? Where's my data going when I purchase it? Because I'm just making some uploads to YouTube, and then I'm just answering some calls, and it's basically most of what I'm doing, and I can't see why the data would be like, you know, just be disappearing off of my device like that every time I have to do these top-ups. You know that, right? You're aware of that. I'm always coming here. I always have to come here to purchase this data. You don't know.
You SIM for Viva, no? STC.
It's STC. You know where, you know what, and what happened to when I call the customer service.
I don't have idea. Customer service 124.
I know, I call the customer service, okay, and they tell me, okay, I have to go down because it's in my husband's name. We don't have a monthly subscription. It's just prepaid, okay?
Yes.
And it's prepaid, and they're abusing the services on the prepaid because it's every time I don't know what they do, but my phone runs out of data, and you know, every time I do these monthly top-ups, it's finished before the end of the month, and it's not normal. If it's for the 27, then it should be for the 27, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not working that way. It's the third time I come for this week to add more credit to my mobile. All right. And that's what happens when you're being targeted here, because there are persons who think, well, okay, you have money or something, or they want to ruin your finances. Okay, so I don't know, but something it ain't right what's happening. Okay, so I'm here to purchase another monthly package. Okay, and should this problem persist, who I can signal? Your boss? I see your boss about that.
Yeah, better.
Okay, the guy that was here this morning, he's your boss.
Yeah, morning time.
It's the morning time. With the glass. Okay, good. I will talk. Okay, I will see him about that.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah. Okay.
Morning, also coming evening, 6:30 coming here.
Okay, then I will pass back if I have to around that time.
Yeah, better.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I like to have like a. I like to have like a. I like to have like a. He's one of them. He's one of them. He's one of them. Yeah, I like to have like a. Tracksmith, the British Club, and now here. Yeah, I like to have like a monthly. Yeah, the 7.5 or 7. Is 7.5 or 7.8?
No, 8.5.
8.5. Okay, just give me that. All right.
You know,
And
8.5 now.
Yeah, and
But,
should it persist, I see your boss.
but 8 dinner we don't have. We have the 7 BD and 1 BD, 3 BD like that.
Okay, it's all right. I can do with that. I can work with that.
How much you want? 7 BD?
Yeah, but if you give me like seven, one
Yeah.
for 7, and then you give me the other loose ones,
Yeah, loose one.
it would be okay. All right, it will come up to the
Loose
same.
one.
It will come up to the same amount.
Yeah, and this 500.
All right.
8 dinner 500, okay?
Yeah.
You see, 7 BD,
Yeah.
1 BD, 8 BD, 500.
Because the money that we be spending here on these stuff is a lot, okay? And I'm not working. You're aware of that. You know, it's too much for someone that's not working to be spending all that money.
Balance take, madam.
Sorry?
Balance.
Yeah. Let me get something here. See one of them, he crawl out the woodworks. Get this mask off my face. Yeah, he just crawl in here. It's the same one that be tracking me when I'm sitting at the British Club. I go by the British Club to sit, relax a bit with my husband, or watch the match or something. He comes up. Well, you know, they're not living far from the British Club, so they have all the excuses as to why they would show up when I'm here. You know, they have all the excuses as to why they would show up. They show up not to purchase nothing. It's the usual thing with them. Or ask for something that's not there.
हाँ नहीं दिया ओके बिल बैलेंस दियो पीछे गाड़ी हो देखो
Yeah. Good luck with that. It's short not to purchase anything. It's just to keep tabs and tracks of their victims. You know, it's what they do. What they usually do. You gotta expose these bastards for who they are. Okay? Because when you're being silent, see where he's going? When you're being silent about it, they tell themselves what they can do, what they want, what they're doing, and get away with it. Okay? That's how they get away with murder. Look. He's one of them that's living opposite our apartment building. I don't care. I want to expose these people for the BS and the illegal activities and other stuff they be doing cause harm to me and my family here. He's over there. Okay? Me, I'm living here. He's one of the guys that be, you know, coming over. One of the spies. With all that I'm speaking up, and they want to make it look as if what I'm saying is, you know, makes sense, or they're gonna say, okay, she's crazy, you don't pay attention to her, and other things like that. You see, everything is adding up right now. Everything is beginning to add up. Everything is making perfect sense, because that's what they do. It's not a coincidence that every time you go somewhere or you exit the flat, within less than a minute, they appear. Always the same vehicles, every time the same persons, you know, be exiting the apartment building where we're living, and the same individuals be appearing in the shop, you know. And I basically use that shop to get my credit. And so I assume these are the same ones that are coming up with ideas in how to exhaust our finances, because every time I pay for a monthly top up before the end of the month, nothing. Okay, nothing. And they know darn well. You're okay in there, honey? Where are you? Yeah. Before the end of the month. Where is she? Here, I got you some of this. You finished doing your English exercise? Okay, I'll check that out after. All right. So every time I purchase these prepaid cards, so you connect it to the internet. Sorry about that. They exhausted, you know, the billing price and everything, because you have to pay like a type of tax on it. It just seems to run out before the due date. And more sorry about that. And it's more than once this has happened. This happened to my husband's phone, on each and every one of our mobiles. We purchase these prepaid cards because we don't have a subscription. And even with a subscription, it would have been worse. Prefer not to have a subscription. And because even when you have a subscription and you're not using the services, they keep the lines open in your names. All right? I've had a lot of experiences, a lot of experiences with these folks. They do the same back in my homeland also. It's in my homeland. It's not only here. It's everywhere they be doing that. So there's a lot of citizens everywhere, or part of the world, that are experiencing this type of harassment to drive you into committed suicide, either to commit suicide, either for you to hurt someone, for you to ruin you financially, take away your assets, take your children away. And there's a lot that they have planned out and be working and manipulating their way to bring it into fruition. Okay? So that's what they do. Okay? Don't mind projecting stuff to get people sick. And they don't mind stealing, using your identity. And they don't mind doing things, manipulating things to have you spending more than you can afford. And that's their agenda. And it's sickening. It's sickening and it's tiring. So I could understand the folks that's telling me, stop speaking up. Don't give them any satisfaction, because that's how they're getting satisfaction. They're getting satisfaction out of you speaking up about your experiences. I can understand that, but I don't care. They don't deserve my silence, okay? I've kept my mouth shut for a long time, and guess what? They continue. They gave me a job, and they targeted me on that job, okay? I was being heavily targeted on that job. And then when I stopped working, at first we thought, well, okay, it's because I'm not working that you're being targeted. I was targeted when I was being targeted, and even when I was working, it was, I was being heavily targeted, worse than now, because then they were using the parents, they were using the children, they were using, the teachers. They were using basically everyone they could use, and they would tell me, okay, well, that particular parent don't like to be working with blacks. You're black, and things like that. All right, this is what been happening in when I was working for them, and I was being heavily targeted there, and that's what when I got that job. I think, well, okay, it's because working that they're doing this. But when I was working, they're doing it also. My husband is working, and he's being harassed nonstop. You can hear the noise from those up there, okay? He's been heavily targeted, my husband. And it's very hard for him because the noise campaigns, it'd be very difficult for him every time. I have to just be disturbed in the middle of the morning, or in the middle of the night with the noise campaigns. These people, the persons that they're using to do this, are as guilty as them. I don't care if they're under threat or whatever. They're just as guilty, okay? These people are undeserving of being called humans. They don't deserve to be called humans, all right? My husband have to get up early, go to work, and when he comes home back, I think we're going to have some quiet time and get his rest. No way. It don't happen that way, because he have to get up early. It's noise right through to 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning, from 3 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 p.m., 3 a.m., every day. It never stops. All right? So that's one of the reasons I'm speaking up because they don't deserve a silence. Okay? And if you're not speaking up, they tell themselves, okay, not saying anything about it is like giving them consent, and we haven't consented to anything. We're not doing anything illegal. We're not having affiliation with anyone that's doing anything illegal. We're not affiliated with any these religious establishments or religious group as to pertain to how they would want others to believe. We're not fighting with anyone. We're just here humble, taking care of our children, going about our daily lives, you know, grocery shopping, return home. It's the most we're doing. We're here, not doing anything, not harming anyone, and they torture us still, you know. So this ain't because you're not doing something. It's not because you're not having a job, because that's what I was thinking before. It's not because you're not having a job that they're doing this. Because I was working when I was working, and they were doing it, and it was even worse than now. When I was working, it was far worse, far more worse, because they would make sure that we got blocking the traffic when you're supposed to arrive at a certain time. They would make sure that the chauffeur, okay, when my husband was leaving in front of me because my shift was like around 11, okay, they'd make sure that my chauffeur would be blocked in traffic so that I could reach work late, okay, so I couldn't get to work on time. Then they would make sure that some drama be waiting for me when I show up, all right? Then make sure, well, it's a lot of things that they would come up with, all right? Sorry about that. They be coming up with, it's a lot of things that they comes up with, you know. So it's not because you might, having a job. Having a job would make it easy. It would make it easy for you because then you can sustain yourself. But ever since I'm not working, and I've been seeking, I've been looking for work, for jobs, be job searching. They make sure, well, no one that I've ever contacted leave my motivational letter or CV, my motivational letter and CV. No one, no one, no one ever contacted me ever since. None, no one. And now that I'm here trying to do something to get a job, they're coming up with ways to prevent me. Now my husband, he's there, he's working. He's the only one that's working. They're going after him now. All right? They're going after him now. This is what they do. Okay? Because they label us as being these bad parents, unfit parents, no good parents. So, whatever they have, and they're using to have us accused of being these no good parents, these terrible parents, these unfit parents, this person that shouldn't exist, whatever they did to have us constantly targeted, harassed nonstop, and have these frequencies and chemicals projected towards us nonstop, whatever they did for that, okay? Whatever they did, okay, to get there, to get us here, where we are today, was based off of lies. All they've ever done was tell lies, these folks. All they've ever done was a lie. Everything. So they have the ones that be impersonating us, and they, as usual, they try to get rid of the originals. Okay, try to get rid of us. That's what they're doing. And the ones that are behind it, are these, have these different forms and agencies and religious groups and others that are involved. But all thanks and praises unto the Most High, yeah. All thanks and praises unto the Most High, and I'm extremely grateful that we're here. And I'm extremely grateful for every day that we're here. But it's exhausting, infuriating. It's downright evil. It's evil what they're doing. And all of this started on a previous social media account. It intensified and became overtly, like they started overtly targeting me through that previous social media account. But we're here, huh? Still feeling blessed to be here, as much as I'm disgusted by all that they're doing, everything that they're doing, you know, utterly, utterly disgusted by it all. So I'm not going to give them the benefit of keeping my mouth shut anymore, speak out about it. I'm expose them, okay, as I do. Whenever I go somewhere and they show up, I'm gonna film them because these are the same folks that I be seeing more every time, the same folks. And when they do changes them, the one that they manage to change still shows up. After a certain time, they will be following me around like that for months. Okay, so I caught on to their pattern, and I don't care. You're exposing me. You're tracking me. I'm expose you because I know, well, okay, you're out to cause to harass me, see what I'm doing, keep tabs on me 24 hours of the day, every day. Then I'm gonna expose you because that's what I have to do. You're not supposed to be following me around and filming me, my family, nor in the privacy of our apartment or rental flat, whatever. Okay, it's illegal, it's unconstitutional, and it infringes our human rights violations, and it's unacceptable. So whenever you send, or whenever they send these people that be following me around, I'm going to film them. Okay? Try to have a little rest now. I'm extremely tired. Try to have another rest, a little bit of rest now. We were awakened at 1:35 in the morning. It's nice, huh? That's before. It's like that. It's like that. It's what they do at 1:35 in the morning. Bam! The noise, loud noise. We thought, well, what was happening? One would have thought, well, okay, these were rhinoceros, or hippos running up there, or elephants. We hadn't the least idea what was happening out there. You were awakened by the noise. And this is what they do. It's to, mess with our psyche. Can't stress that enough. But this is what they do. All right. Nonetheless, we're grateful for still being here because, as I mentioned, it could have been worse. Okay. So each day you're alive, each day you're above ground. You got to give thanks and praises to the Most High. Okay. Just have to be grateful. All right.